Hey guys, welcome back to Ortonsauto. Stick around to the end of the video today so you can see kind of a sneak preview of what's coming up for the channel. Got some cool stuff coming up. So yeah, stay tuned for that. But today we got a couple things we need to work on for the car, and I'll show you what that is. Okay guys, so we're going to be working on two things for the car today. Putting in some new parts, finally. I actually went onto the Holley website into their clearance section, and I was able to find a set of shocks, all four shocks that I needed, for 83% off. So if you're low on funds like I always am, check out Holley's clearance section because they got some good stuff for some really good prices. So that, shocks, and then also we need to get some wheel cylinders into the rear brakes because they're leaking pretty bad, and you know, brakes are moderately important sometimes. So yeah. Okay, so what I've decided to do first and foremost is to get the wheel cylinders on the rear, because that's greatly going to affect my stopping because they leak and it's a single pot master cylinder. So we're going to get that done first, and then we'll do the shocks. I'm just going to do the rear wheel cylinders, shouldn't take long at all. Then we'll get into doing the shocks, so bear with me here. Okay, so I really want to try my hardest not to absolutely destroy these brake lines, because I don't know if you've ever taken off really crappy, rusty old brake lines before, but they're so easy just to twist because of all the crud that gets stuck in there. So what I'm going to do is get this wrench on, give it some nice love taps. That should be the ticket, but since I don't have actual proper line wrenches, we're gonna throw a set of vice grips on here. I know, terrible idea, but if you've ever done this before with regular wrenches, they almost always round them off, and then you'll end up having to take vice grips to it regardless. So just gonna skip that step. And we're going to round it off with the vice grips. Just like that. Broken free. So now wiggle this around a bunch. Make sure all the crud gets worked out of there before we throw the wrench back on to keep going. Okay. Grab the wrench now. If you ever feel any sort of resistance while you're doing this, just stop, wiggle it back and forth a little bit. You don't want to destroy these things because it sucks so bad. Especially because I'm pretty sure on this car, actually I'm 100% sure on this car, it's hard lines that run all the way up to the engine bay again. And I don't want to deal with that. Or maybe it's not hard lines all the way up. Either way, I don't want to do it. So we're going to crack this thing right off, and then kind of disassemble the brakes a little bit, just enough so I can actually get it out. There we go. Yes, brake fluid leaking everywhere. That's what I like to see. Oh, you son of a gun. There you go. Okay. Yeah, so I'm just going to take off this, and that should give me enough room that I can wiggle it out this way once I get those back ones cracked off. And again, just so make sure these things actually come out nicely, give her some love taps. on both of them. Just to try to break any rust free that's on there. Perfect. God, this lighting is terrible. Absolutely god awful. Sorry about that, guys. Try and make it a bit better. Unscrew that bad boy. Put her in the dirt where it belongs. Yeah, I've always found instead of just reefing on as hard as you can, if you hit it, it kind of works as like an impact, you know? Found it helps me most of the time to not just tear and snap things off. But this does have to be hit. There we go. Broken free, broken loose, and out. Just like that. Easy peasy. One thing you do really want to pay attention to is like, let's see if I can get it stuck onto here. Yeah, so that, you see that little nugget on the end of there? That kind of got scraped onto the edge of the line when I pulled out the wheel cylinder. That would be terrible for the brakes if that was still stuck in there. So just, you know, take the couple seconds just to look and make sure. Because that would suck after all this work just to get a hunk of crud stuck in there. You know, never fun to have to deal with that kind of crap. So yeah, we did both the wheel cylinders on the rear here. I figure I'll just kind of fast forward through this because you've seen the disassembly. It's the exact same as the reassembly. No issues happened. It was all good. So, yeah. Okay, camera cut out there for whatever reason, but I got the bottom one off. I just gotta get the two top ones, and we can replace this shock. So I don't know why the heck they would do this, but it's a nut and bolt style. I figured something like this, you know, make it easier on literally everybody involved. You, oh, come on. You would opt for a like a welded on stud, but obviously in the 60s they just did not want to do that, at least not with this car. A little ridiculous, but whatever. It is what it is. Let's get this bad boy out of here. That is numero uno. Put that right there so I don't lose it. Do not fall on my face, please. Okay, old shock, gone. This is a hefty pain in the keister, but well, it's gonna be very much worth it when I'm done here. Stock shocks, stock like however old these shocks are not exactly the best for, like, you know, anything. So, just get that fingered on. Just get that fingered on there a little bit. Then hook that on. Grab this other one right here. Hopefully that stays and doesn't fall down and knock me out. Get this next one on. Okay. There we go. All done. Time for the fronts. Okay, so get these top ones off. You gotta get ratcheting 15, or at least the way I'm doing it, ratcheting 15 and then a pair of vice grips to hold the... Yeah, so spoiler alert, this didn't work at all. It was all just, even with all the WD-40 I put on, it was all just way too rusty. The vice grips were slipping. So it pretty quickly just devolved into this. Perfect. Exactly what I planned to do the entire time. Okay, now let's crack these bottom ones off here, if I can feel them. And my light went out. Now we're both in the dark. Don't want to lose that. Okay, so while I was struggling for my sanity under there, I actually bumped the camera and it ended up underneath me. So, yeah, you don't really get to see any of that part. Okay, you couldn't see it, but that front was painful. Very painful. The rear was definitely easier. Okay, I know it's dark out, might not be able to see this much. We got the new shocks in. any of you guys have ever bought a car that's been sitting forever and everything's basically original on it, you know how terrible the suspension and the shocks on them are. Just worn right out. But that is a million times better. So, yeah, pretty psyched. Okay, so this right here is the list of the stuff I want to get done to my car by the summer of 2025. I'm kind of going to use it as like a living document. Stuff will go onto it, stuff will come off of it. It can always be changed as needed. Right now, what we have on it is shifter linkage for the new transmission. We got wheel cylinders, completed speedo cable. I want to put my tack in. The wife got me a tack for my birthday last year. Pretty sick. Finished the floors. Tire clearance. Done. Shocks. Done. That kind of helped with that. Then also, if you remember from the previous, or was it maybe the 2 videos ago, I can't remember. One of the past videos, I kind of clearanced the wheel wells a little bit. Then we got lights, because about half of them work. Seats. We're gonna call that done. All I need to do is throw a blanket over it when I get them back in. Horn stopped working at one point. I want to get one of those 3-gauge setups where it's got the oil pressure, the temperature, and voltage on it. Hope to get one of those in there. Transmission cross member has to go back into the car. Rewire fuel pump, because I don't know if you remember from one of the first videos I did on this car. All I really had laying around was stereo wire, and I just wanted to see if the engine was going to fire. So I wired it up with a stereo wire, but I really need to address that because that's ridiculous. Front fender, it's all caved in, so we're going to see what we can do about that. Either bash it out, do some body work on it, or get a fender for it. Then both bumpers are kind of bent out of shape. We're going to see if we can pound them back to shape. Put the drive shaft back in. Put the new windshield back in. Or in, I guess. External transmission cooler. I have one on the shelf over here that I'm going to be using on my parts shelf. I'd like to fix the grill. It has a new grill there. Just in case I find one that I can just pop in there. Anything else that you guys think should be added to this list here? Let me know. We'll throw it on, see if we can get it done by the summer. If not, this car I'm planning on having forever. There'll be more project cars coming and going as you'll see if you continue with the channel, but this one here, that's my baby. That's gonna stay. So yeah. Hey guys, so today we're heading out for a bit of a drive. Gonna go pick up a new vehicle that's coming back to the shop. I'm gonna give you a bit of a sneak preview here in this video, and then the next video we'll actually, we'll try to get into it. Yeah, so we'll see. just want to thank you guys so much for watching. I really, really appreciate it. If you can, or if you enjoyed what you watched, subscribe, leave a like, throw out a comment. What do you want to see on the list? What do you want to see me doing? Always down for some feedback. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.